The 1970s was a dark era in time, and with that, a lot of thought-provoking cinema was made. The Exorcist, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, and Alien explored themes of faith, societal paranoia, the threat of the unknown, and what lurks out there outside our planet. For Gothic cinema, the imagery got darker and far more violent. Loved ones separated by grief, bloodsuckers bringing business to the drive-ins as usual, and lest we not forget about Italian cinema, where filmmakers such as Mario Bava helped in the Gothic revival of the 1960s. Their work in the genre would evolve into a brand new subgenre of film, giallo. In today's video, we'll look back at the decade and see what films stand out as the best entries in Gothic horror. Enjoy.
I sit here and I can't believe that it happened.
Number 5. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Having been recently released from a mental institution, Jessica and her husband move into a supposed haunted farmhouse with a friend, leaving the bustleness of New York City to the quiet countryside. And from there, she immediately begins to question her own sanity. One half ghost story that evolves into a vampire film at the end, Let's Scare Jessica to Death is a lucid dream that you're trying to wake up from. This film does something to the viewer. You're locked in whether this poor girl is losing her mind or perhaps what she is seeing is in fact real. On to our number 4 pick, Dracula, 1979. 1979 was a struggle for the Dracula IP, with several adaptations releasing in the year. This take on Bram Stoker's classic skips the eerie beginnings and opens with the crash of the Demeter. Frank Langella's portrayal as Count Dracula is very suave and deadly. Alongside veteran actors Donald Pleasant and Laurence Olivier as Dr. Jack Seward and Professor Abraham Van Helsing, this film has a stacked cast you do not want to miss. While there has been better adaptations of the Bram Stoker classic, John Badham's take on the novel is a mixed bag. It struggles at some points with wanting to be a terrifying period piece or a melodrama, but you cannot deny the film's use of practical effects and editing to leave you wondering, how did they do that? Number 3, Don't Look Now, 1973. A married couple comes to terms with the death of their child. While the husband takes up work with a church in Venice, the couple comes across 2 sisters, one in which is a clairvoyant, and tells them their daughter is trying to warn them of an impending danger. The husband, John Baxter, is dismissive of this until he starts to experience haunting encounters. This occult thriller is based in the Gothic ghost story conventions, with grief being the sole emotion pulled through the film. It's messy, and at times it feels delirious. Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie play their parts very well. At some point, this could easily be a giallo film. The story is paced well with clues about the hidden danger throughout this film. John's constant search for his daughter feeds into his guilt and grief for her accidental death. In the end, his obsession leads him to his own demise. Sometimes not knowing could save your life. Number 2, Suspiria, 1977. Dario Argento welcomes us into his nightmare of color and mystery. An American travels overseas to an exceptional German dance academy, and upon her first night, there has been a murder. This is the first installment of the Three Mothers trilogy, and is the strongest of the 3 films. A lot of that success can be given to the film's soundtrack composed by prog rock band Goblin, and I don't think this film would strike as hard without its music. While the film doesn't have a traditional narrative compared to most commercial success films, Argento keeps his audience glued with the film's pacing, mystery, and bloody kills. The cinematography adds to the dreamscape and wonder of the world that upon several viewings you feel disoriented. When you're trying to get your bearings, that's where the film disarms you with its horror. Before we get to our number 1 pick, here are the runner-ups on our list. And our number one pick for the top 5 Gothic horror films of the 1970s is Nosferatu The Vampyre, 1979. Werner Herzog's Nosferatu keeps faithful to the F.W. Murnau original, with some changes to the plot. The cast of characters don't share the same names as the original, but instead have their respected names from Dracula. Klaus Kinski plays an eccentric Count Dracula. I was not let down by his performance, as I expected Kinski to get so into character that I believe he's just playing himself. I fell in love with Isabella Adjani in Possession, and seeing her play Lucy Harker in this adaptation just reminds me how much I love her performance. One of the reasons Herzog's Nosferatu is at the top of this list is because of the cinematography. The journey to Dracula's castle by Harker is one of the most beautiful in Gothic cinema, and I find that it sometimes rivals even that of Robert Eggers' adaptation. The waterfalls and scaling up the mountain, you forget you're watching a movie at this point. What did you think of our ranking? Did any of your favorites make the list? If not, share your list down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.